Have you ever pushed yourself too hard trying to put the strong in strong man or strong woman? No, I didn't think that sounded like you. But just in case that happens to be you in the future, I'm going to share with you some strongman supersets that will help you improve your recovery while keeping you on track for your next competition. Okay, let's talk strongman supersets. Now you're probably thinking, I've never heard this term before. What is a strongman superset? Well, I hadn't heard this term either. It's kind of something that just came to me when I was doing these during my training session yesterday. But in case the name isn't self explanatory, let's give you a formal definition here. So, a strongman superset is two exercises performed consecutively using strongman implements or aimed at improving strongman skills. So, nothing fancy here. Maybe you know what a superset is. This is just that, but applied to strongman. Even though the name strongman supersets didn't come to me until yesterday, I've been training these exercises for many years throughout my strongman career. I really like them, and I usually go to them whenever I get into a situation where I've pushed my body way too hard and way too far, and now it's really pissed off at me, and I know I need to take a step back. However, there's contests coming up. Maybe it's the off season, the in season's coming up soon, which is where I'm at right now, and I need to stay fluid with those strongman movement patterns while trying to improve my recovery. In that case, this is my go-to. Now, there are thousands of variations that you can use for strongman supersets or supersets in general. Today, I want to share with you three that I used in a recent training session. And I also want to show you how those exercise choices correspond to the strongman skills they're trying to develop so you can build your own strongman supersets. Okay, strongman superset number one. Now, the first exercise I chose was a sandbag load over bar. I did this for 2 repetitions. Obviously, you could vary that to your own needs. And then I ran right into a row on a row machine that I built, and I did that for 10 repetitions. Okay, so what you're going to see here is I'm going to be one motioning these sandbags, which means that I'm picking them straight up from the ground and right over the bar. And that's because they're light enough to do so. And that's the whole point with strongman supersets here, is we're going to train the motion patterns we need to for strongman, but we're going to do it at a light enough weight that we can do this for multiple sets, and we're not really taxing our body too much. We're just going through the motions we need to build those strongman skills, but then we're going to get some extra recovery time because, compared to the normal training we do, this is going to be way less harsh on the body. You'll see here I picked sandbag over bar because it's a loading movement, and that is a mainstay in strongman training. We have to be able to load sandbags, atlas stones, and any other weird implements that come up. Then you'll see here I run into a rowing movement. Rowing is actually going to help very much with loading, but it's also going to help with any kind of pulling we have to do or picking up any objects where it involves a lot of movement of the arms. All right, strongman superset number 2. For exercise number 1 in this superset, I did a front raise with a hold at the end. So 5 repetitions and a 10-second hold. And then you move right into sandbag swings. Now, this is just like a kettlebell swing, slightly different technique. I'm trying to use the technique that would mimic how I'll move when I'm about to throw the sandbag, which is, what we need to do in competition. I chose a front raise here because it directly helps to build your throwing muscles, right? So extending your shoulders like that is exactly what you do when you throw the, whether it's a sandbag or a keg. I'm doing a hold here at the end because the front hold is actually a skill that we're tested on directly. So it's really great to throw that in there once in a while, especially when it's lighter. And finally, I move into the sandbag swings here. Again, I'm trying to mimic the movement that I would do when I'm about to throw it. And obviously, this is, the sandbag throw or the keg toss. These are things that were tested on directly. And so you can imagine that's exactly why I'm doing these. All right, so strongman superset number 3. For exercise number 1 here, I chose front squats. I used a barbell in this case, nice and lightweight. And then I went right into a standing dumbbell press for 10 repetitions. Now, I chose front squats because squatting is a contested movement pattern in strongman. And in front squats, usually you can squat way less than you can when the bar's on your back. So that forces you to keep the intensity lower and is obviously going to aid in recovery. The other thing is the upper portion of that front squat really helps with the pressing power. You know, that dip and drive you do before you press. That's where you can build it. And then finally, moving into the overhead dumbbells here, you can't win strongman if you're not a good presser. And so here we are, repping them out. So I hope that gives you some ideas of different strongman supersets that you can use to, lighten the load a bit, but still build those strongman skills that you're going to need come competition day. Let me just give you a few advantages that I see from strongman supersets. Firstly, the whole goal here is to force yourself to use less intensity, less weight on the bar, lighter dumbbells, whatever implement you're using. What that's going to do is you're still going to get those movement patterns in, but it's going to decrease the wear on your body. And the goal is that hopefully that will increase your recovery. So, say you're really beat up right now and you do a few training sessions of these strongman supersets, you're still going to keep the groove of those patterns going. You're still going to have some technical practice. However, that lightened load should help you recover over that short period of time. The second advantage, which I tried to emphasize this in the first strongman superset I showed you, is that it really simulates a medley. So you don't have to run between the two exercises, but if you do, it's going to get you in the spirit of strongman competition. Any medley, that means that some strongman event has 2 or more skills you have to perform, and it's under a time limit. So that means you need to do both of them as fast as possible, and you need to transition between them as fast as possible. And when you do strongman supersets in this way, it really mimics what you're going to do in competition. The third advantage of strongman supersets is that it forces your sets to be just longer in total duration. Now, this is important because it helps build your work capacity that's specific for the sport of strongman. Whenever we have a event in a contest that's a medley, so 2 or more skills that are performed consecutively, there always is a time limit. Now, the average or typical time limit is 60 seconds. However, as you go up the ranks of strongman, those time limits can increase. For example, if you watch the Arnold Strongman Classic, which just happened this weekend, shout out to Mitch Hooper for winning and bringing the title back to Canada. Great job, bud. But you would have seen, let's say, in the overhead event, that they had a 2-minute timer. So why strongman supersets matter there is if every set is longer, although the weights are lighter, it's still preparing you to be able to produce forces over longer periods of time, which might be the difference between you winning an event or gassing out and coming last. And the final advantage I see here from strongman supersets is that they're still focused on strongman skills. So you might be beat up from training and you really need a break, you really need more recovery, but you have contests coming or you have big goals, you still need to be, making your performance with the strongman skills better. I think this, fits right into that bucket. So instead of just going to the gym and doing, whatever feels good, you can do things that take the load off of your body, which will help you recover in the short term, but then also keep you practicing those strongman skills, or at least portions of each skill that will, keep you ready for that upcoming goal or competition. All right, that's all I have to say today about strongman supersets. I hope you understand the concept. I hope you like the examples. If you guys have any examples of supersets that you think are excellent for strongman, let me know in the comments. Love to hear about them. As always, thanks for watching and take care.